Hey guys, so I just want to quickly talk about why I started Blokes Day Out and the idea around the concept of Blokes Day Out, the activities we do and what we talk about. Now, for starters, a few years ago I went through some pretty major challenges and it was really difficult for me, and I didn't have the tools to be able to cope with it very well. And I was in a place where I didn't feel like I had much support around me. I'd moved interstate, away from my family and friends, my support network. I went through a marriage breakup where essentially I lost everything that was important to me. I lost access to my children, I lost my home, my job, my business. I really lost my identity at that time, or that's how I felt. And without my network nearby, I just really struggled. And without the skills or the understanding around how to cope with these, I just really struggled. And I didn't do things really well, and I made mistakes and made my situation worse. And throughout that process, I started to learn some skills, and I started to get better at asking for help. And I started being able to recognize the help that was offered and to actually be able to accept that help. And so I started a group for men. And the first group I started, it didn't really gel. It didn't really do what I wanted to do. And that is why it's evolved into Blokes Day Out. And the reason it didn't gel was because what I noticed was there were a lot of men that were turning up to my events that were there to offer support. They weren't the men that were in the trenches really struggling. They were the men that had been through it, had learned some things, and they wanted to offer support, which is amazing. But what it showed me was that there are so many men out there that are willing to help, that are willing to support those men. And the men that are really in need of that support, they're often not in a position to be able to ask for that help or to be able to put themselves out there to come to an event. So part of the idea of Blokes Day Out is to create a space, firstly, that makes it easier for men to be able to turn up. Rather than a men's support group where it can be confronting for some men to admit that they need support, Blokes Day Out is a place where we do really cool activities, we have some fun, and we connect with other men. So there's less resistance for these men that are really struggling to actually step up and do it. It's easier to say, hey, I'm going to go surfing for the weekend, or I'm going to go wakeboarding, whatever it might be, than say, hey, I've got this men's support group that I've got to go to. Now that can seem like a small thing, but it can be huge for men that are really suffering. So that's the first, I guess, angle, is making it more comfortable and easier for men to say yes and to come along. The other side of it is I recognise that idea that there are so many men out there that are willing to support other men. And so part of Blokes Day Out is building the skills of the men that come to, firstly, to manage their own emotions, nervous system, and have skills to manage the stresses of their everyday life. But it's also showing them how to support the men around them. And so if we build a community of men that firstly are better regulated, are in a better mental state, and secondly have the skills and the confidence to be able to recognize when the people around them are suffering, and to be able to start that conversation, to help that person to feel comfortable to open up, and then to know how to actually listen effectively without trying to solve the problem, and just letting that person feel heard, feel validated. And then if that open communication is done well, then that person is more likely to accept that support that's offered. And again, part of that teaching is understanding what the next step can look like. Who can we refer them to? Who can we direct them to? Where can they find the support that they need, the professional support that they need? And what I found is that's really, really powerful. And I found that in my own experience. Having the skills and the knowledge to be able to have that open communication and have that person feel comfortable enough to share and to feel supported, and then to accept the offer of support to help direct them to that next step is really, really powerful. So Blokes Day Out is not a place only for men who are going through challenges. It's for men who would love to be better at supporting the people around them. And it's not just supporting men, it's supporting everybody in our lives. And through learning these skills, through becoming better at regulating our own emotions, improving the way we communicate, we become better husbands, better partners, better fathers, better colleagues at work, better leaders in the community. Now, to me, that is powerful and it's inspiring, and this is what drives me to continue to do what I do. And I appreciate every little bit of support from the community. It really, really does go a long way. Whether it be just messages of support, thank yous, gratitude, as well as sharing my content, inviting people, getting people to the events. Because the more people we can get to the events, the more we can spread this word and the more people we can help in total. So guys, that's my story. That's why I do Blokes Day Out the way I do it. I'm continually growing and evolving it and learning from it, which is amazing. I love that, and I couldn't continue to do it without the support of the community. So thank you so much. Thanks for listening to this video. It was probably longer than I expected, but I appreciate you sticking around to the end. And yeah, I'll see you at the next event. Ciao.